being a real estate agent is stressful. Jon-David Lenard is going to tell you how to make it a lot less stressful next. So I am here at the TF Success Summit, live in Dallas, Texas, with my good friend, longtime friend, mastermind partner, Jon-David Lenard from Long Island. And he brought up something really interesting. We were prepping and just talking about our journeys together, because we've definitely been in this, that there's a lot of expectations. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of stress in doing this job, and it affects a lot of other people. Yeah. So what are you guys doing to make it a little easier?
Well, first of all, Tom, I mean, when people come and join our team, we make them understand that anything worth doing in life requires stress. I mean, you got to push through. It's all about growth. It's all about learning. As long as you're here, you might as well get the most out of it. So maybe setting the right expectations when you start is the right thing to do. And then I take for granted that people that want to get into this business want to do it right, deliver a 5-star experience. And again, you're just putting more pressure on yourself to deliver, because at the end of the day, Tom, you just don't want to let people down, right?
100%.
So what does that do, especially to a new agent, a sole agent, or even an agent on a team like mine? You know, that can create a lot of pressure. So there's a lot of ways that we try to work with agents and ourselves to be better at what we do, you know, and alleviate some of that pressure.
So what are some of the methods? Because everyone that's gotten into real estate, whether you're doing 5 deals, 10 deals, 100 deals, the stress is there just transactionally, and then it affects your life at home, and you start letting all these things kind of just invade everything that's there, because it is like you either get this job done or you don't. There's no gray area in between.
Right. So first things first. I mean, you got to be right with yourself. You got to understand what's going on up here and what the stories are. But then from there, once you figure out what your path is and what your goals are, and you're stuck to them, you gotta be really good with your communication. I mean, I cannot stress that enough. Communication with your clientele, with the people in your office. If it's your office manager, having open dialogue, because you can gain so much with communication with your family at home, getting them to understand, but also understanding with communication, because it's a two-way street. What is it like for your family at home? Hey, you could be new to real estate. I remember when I got back into real estate full time, about 15 years ago, that was an adjustment period for my wife and I. I mean, it was huge. So communication, I would say, is the first key to making sure that you're gonna you're gonna start to alleviate some of that stress, maybe get some of the help you need, and understand the circumstances that are around you.
You mentioned something there. I mean, I've had many fights with my wife over real estate, right? And Bridget, if you're watching this, which you probably aren't, this is very true. And just being clear with the people you're communicating with, people on your team, the other parties in the transaction, your clients, your family, that goes such a long way, because the more clearly you can communicate, the more the expectations are properly set, so you can get through that rough patch, that hard patch, because nothing great doing is ever easy.
You know, Tom, I had to learn that first for myself. And I'm still learning it every day with the team, that how do I communicate with them better? How do I get them to understand, where we're rowing together, but also what their challenges are, so that they can help, right? But that's a two-way street again.
100%.
So I'd say communication is really big. And the other thing, I think, once you have communication down, well, though it's a process, right? But when you feel comfortable that the lines of communication are open, and this is hard because, again, coming from single agent, trying to deliver 5-star experience, delegation, man. Mm-hmm. You can't have delegation without communication. That's one thing that I've learned. I would start to delegate, but not realize that when it didn't work, it was actually my fault, because I wasn't communicating the expectations properly. So communication to delegation, and it's really hard, especially in this business where trying to deliver that 5-star experience, you kind of want control. You want that control, you need that control. But every time I've put my trust into the right people, it's only gotten better. My career has gotten better, my life has gotten better. I've got people beside me now that I put my trust in, and we're on a pathway that I'm just super excited about.
Well, and if you don't communicate properly, the delegation will not go well. And you said something there that people, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
no,
you said something
it's
there.
fine.
You have to be causing the matter. right?
Yeah.
It's ultimately always your fault. And if you really want to do something great, you've got to look at what could I do differently. Even if someone else actually had part of the blame, it's what you can control. And that's going to go a long way to take the stress out of it, because there's things that happen out of your control all the time when you're selling real estate.
So that's step 3, right? Is take responsibility. I mean, I talk about it all the time. Even when I feel, look, it can be difficult sometimes. Your ego can get bruised sometimes, but I try to remove myself as quickly as possible from the situation and ask, even when I don't believe it in the moment, what did I do wrong? And how can I learn from this so that I can get better? And again, because at the end of the day, I want to work with people that want to go in the direction I'm going in, but we all need to be on the same script. So, and that script is, they're contributing. It's part of everybody is a, what do you call it? A stakeholder, right? Everybody's a stakeholder in what we're doing, but I'm bringing us there. I take the responsibility. You could say the buck stops with me.
100%. So to review, communication, delegation, fierce personal responsibility. I added a little bit in there.
Yeah.
Great stuff, brother. Thanks for coming on, man.
Love you, brother.